Over the past few years, I've been on a bit of a personal crusade to find the best chair for the office and for gaming and for generally sitting around here at the editing desk. And I've had some brilliant ones, and I've had some ones that have been truly disgusting. But I'm telling you now, the one that I'm about to show you today has some incredible and groundbreaking hidden features that I've never seen on a chair here at the Country Club before. This is the Hinomi H1 Pro. And today I'm going to take you through a discovery about who Hinomi are, what their warranty practices are like, and how easy the chair is to assemble, and how comfortable it is before sharing my thoughts on whether or not you should buy one. So welcome back to another episode of Stu's Reviews. As always, this episode is completely unbiased, and I will be looking at both the excellent bits about this chair and the things that I think could be improved, but in return for this honest and expert and in-depth opinion, do help me out and hit that thumbs up button below. So, who are Hinomi? Well, I got an email from them, and I had to do a little Google to find out a bit more about them. I'd never heard of them before, and I'm betting that many of you guys haven't either. Unless, of course, you're actually searching for this review. But that's largely because they only launched in Singapore in December 2021, and from then have seemingly grown very, very fast. In only 10 months, they're already expanding into France and the UK, which is extremely bloody quick in my opinion. Now, this is not the first time that I've reviewed this type of ergonomic style chair, of course, and at first glance, it shares some aesthetic similarities to the Mavic M9 that I took a look at last year, although that chair turned out to be mostly a $1,000 disappointment. I can say with a degree of confidence that this chair is everything that that chair should have been, and as an added bonus, it's cheaper. But I will get onto that in a little bit. Now, assembly was perhaps the most straightforward assemblies that I've ever done to date, because it came almost fully assembled and folded into the box like a pretzel. It literally required only dropping onto the 5-prong wheelbase and then screwing in the headrest. And straight away, the secret abilities and hidden features of this chair started to surprise me. What's that? What is that? What is that? What are those? Look at this! It's got a footstool in it. Hey! This is a serious piece of kit. Oh. Look at this! I don't know how you put it down though. It doesn't just stay like that, I'm pretty certain, unless I do. That's clever! Look at that! That is so cool. That is so cool. What a great design that is. Yes, unbelievably, this thing has an inbuilt footrest, which is just insane. And this is the first time that I've ever seen this. Although, being a 6'8" giant of a man, my legs do hang over the edge somewhat. Average height mortals should have a little bit more support, as you can see from their promotional material on their website. But despite this overhang, I still found it very comfortable enough to use for quick naps, which I've had to do a lot recently. I think I'm getting old. But the surprise features don't stop here. Another is that you can fold it completely flat, which you saw when it came out of the box. Now, I never thought I would need this feature, but the ability to do this and wheel it under the desk is actually a really handy way of saving space and getting a bulky item out the way for other activities. More chairs should have this functionality without a doubt. But there is another awesome feature as well, and that's the ability to lift these armrests completely up. Again, if you're storing it and want to push it under the desk completely, you can do this without having to adjust the height of anything. Just pull up and push under. It also has the added benefit of making it easier to get up and down all the time in an environment where perhaps you haven't got as much room. You can just lift this up and get off the chair sideways. And I guess it's also handy if you play an instrument like guitar. It means you haven't got an awkward chair arm to try and contend with. With all of these secret hidden features, the question is, have they had any real negative impact on the comfort or usability of the chair? And the answer is absolutely not. This chair is one of the most adjustable chairs that I've ever come across, and as a benefit of this is probably among the most comfortable because you can adjust it to nearly every aspect of fit for your body. There's perhaps too much adjustment, but hold on to that thought because take a look at what it can do. The armrests go forward and backwards, side to side, and even twist. Height adjustment is done through a locking lever on the side, which I really like, and the whole backrest goes up and down in a similar way to the Mavic M9. Now, I hated it on that chair because even looking at it wrong moved that out of adjustment. Whereas on this chair, it's a lot more sturdy to the point you can actually move the chair around by the back and it won't fall out of adjustment. It's not perfect for sure, and it's likely that you'll accidentally adjust it at some point, but I think these instances will be few and far between, and certainly much less so than the Mavics. Now the headrest moves up and down too, and the angle of the headrest arm moves as well, and the actual angle of the headrest changes as well. It's insane. The lumbar support tension can be increased or decreased. The base of the seat can be moved in and out for different lengths of leg. And of course, the level of recline and resistance of the chair can be changed as well. It's simply unbelievable how much you can actually change on this chair. And on the subject of the lumbar support, this is actually possibly one of my favourite bits of the chair. It's a sprung unit with the ability to adjust this tension to completely soft, which does absolute wonders for my back. It's like having someone give you a lower back massage constantly as you're working. And the fact that it moves up and down means you can get it in that exact sweet spot for your back. It just feels simply delightful. Although, like a spoilt child, I just want one more thing. It would have been nice to have been able to change not just the tension of the lumbar support, but perhaps the depth of the support as well. But I'm being really, really greedy here because comfort-wise, this thing is exceptional. But only after you've spent 18 hours adjusting every single knob, dial and twizzly bit on the chair, of course, to find that perfect spot. Which is perhaps my point of too much adjustment. Whilst you can get the perfect spot, it does take a while to do so because there is so much to change. But I guess that is a real benefit of this chair. Now, the material they've used is a form of mesh that's fire resistant, breathable, and supposedly from Germany. I'm not sure how that makes an impact of anything. And currently that seems like it's the only option available. But admittedly, this is the first time I've ever tried a chair with this material completely, and I've liked it way more than I thought I would. Now I'm putting my hands up here and being honest that I've referred to chairs like this looking a little like Grandma's tights in the past, but I think I should make an I'm sorry video because I will eat those words. I actually am a little bit converted here simply because it does have a hell of a lot of practical benefits that I didn't really think about. The mesh was utterly amazing during the heat waves that we had over the past few months, in the sense of keeping me cool whilst offering a great level of support still. Now I can't imagine how horrible it would have been in a PU leather chair during that 30-degree heat that we had with no air conditioning because I live in the UK. The slight caveat is that being breathable, it means that it doesn't feel quite as cosy, which is something to consider if you work in very cold environments. But for the most people who have heated offices, and especially in the UK where we lack air conditioning, mesh chairs absolutely get my thumbs up here, and the Hinomi H1 has converted me completely. Now, there's a couple of other things that I would like to see from Hinomi in a future iteration or update to this lineup. And the first would be a change of wheels. Now, I say this in nearly every single chair review I do. I want bigger and better casters. And this is something that the Mavics did right, and perhaps the only thing it did right, but I want similar casters to inline skates to make it smoother and better on rougher or carpeted surfaces. Now, before I share my final thoughts on the chair, I do want to talk about the warranty practices, fine print and reliability of this chair, because as always, this is sold as part of the overall package when it comes to office chairs. Now, on paper, Hinomi offer an exceptional 10-year warranty as standard, which is brilliant. Although they do opt for a clever marketing model here, where essentially you can get an extension on the warranty for another 5 years by sharing a picture on social media of your brand new chair. Now, I've never been keen on this particular marketing trick, as you know, although on the other hand, it does give you 5 years more, which is actually a considerable long extension to the already long warranty. So I guess there's a small silver lining here. And putting my thoughts on this marketing trick to one side, it's evidently a trick that works for sure, which is, I guess, why companies are still doing it. But I've read this policy down to the very, very last words that you don't have to. And there's certainly some fine print you might want to know about before you buy one. The first point of note is that the 10-year standard warranty covers you only for the frame and the base. The lumbar support and other chair mechanisms are only covered for 5 as standard, or after the extension 10 years. The second and last point is that wear and tear isn't covered, which includes mesh deformation, casters being worn down, or the gradual wear of the top cushion on the armrests, although the mechanism for the armrest is actually covered. Now, as an added comment here, the armrests do seem like they're made of a really robust material that feels like it could withstand a hell of a lot of use, and whilst still having enough padding for comfort over long periods of time. So with this balance, I'd be very, very surprised if these actually become worn down. But thankfully, that's it for the fine print, which is actually quite small compared to other warranties I've exposed in the past. So overall, it seems like a really comprehensive warranty that will indeed support a wide variety of problems within the covered period. Now, as for the reliability of this warranty, I'm going to be honest here, I haven't got a clue, because the company has only just launched. Now, I've scoured the web for people who have had to use this warranty, but there's nothing. Not even on Reddit, which I guess on one hand is annoying because I can't tell you how reliable the company is when it comes to warranty claims. But then on the other hand, no one has had to use the warranty so far, meaning no one's had issues, which is a great sign. So that's the company, the chair and the warranty. Let's talk about the asking price for these features. The cost of the H1 Pro starts at $599 without discount, although I've just checked and at the time of this review there's currently an offer taking it down to $499. Comparatively, this is about the average price in the industry at the moment, which, let's be honest, I've always been a little bit surprised at. But putting that to one side, the fact that I will always resent paying that much for a chair, I actually think there's a hell of a lot of value in this at $599, and especially at the discounted price that I've seen it for. At $599, it's much, much cheaper than similar chairs from competitors like Mavics or Herman Miller, yet offers an experience that's similar or potentially even better than those options, making the H1 Pro a much better value chair in my opinion. It's just got a degree of adjustability that's completely unmatched, and in some of the more finer and I guess more unusual features like the inbuilt footrest, the ability to fold it flat, and a long, albeit untested warranty, it's a serious chair contender in the market, even though it's a relatively new combatant. And the best thing is, I've actually really enjoyed testing this one out, and I think I'm going to continue using it when I'm at the editing desk, simply for the fact that it can fold down under it when I want to store it, when I'm moving big stuff around the studio, and with the ability to raise up the arms, it makes it a much more versatile piece for a place that I'm up and down at all the time to grab drinks or cameras or pieces of kit to test. So, in conclusion, I think Konami are doing some great things despite being a new company. Even some of their other products, like the gaming colorway of the H1, looks pretty cool, and they even have a standing desk which you can control with your voice, which is another feature that I've not yet seen myself on standing desks. Even my own doesn't have that feature. As for the H1 Pro itself, I do have to go out on a limb here and say that it's possibly one of the best value office chairs available at this moment in time, and certainly from an adjustability standpoint, this thing is miles ahead of anything I've tested before. Will my opinion change over time? Well, who knows? Let's see how it holds up. I'll potentially do a 1 year later catch up to analyse the wear and tear of the chair. So do hit that thumbs up, subscribe and notification bell to see that episode when it lands. Or if you want to see any of the other chair episodes from me, I'll drop a link to my chair review playlist below. You can see the stuff that I've reviewed in the past. Anyway, I'll see you back for another episode of Stu's Reviews soon. I'm going to go and have a massage from my chair. It is lovely.